Good day to each and everyone. I am Maria Crucian de Manalac from BSED English 4-1 and I am your presenter for the part 4 of Rizal's essay, The Philippine A Century Hence. Before I will start my presentation for today, let me read first our learning objective. So as you can see in our PowerPoint, it says here that at the end of the lesson, the students will be able to analyze what are the important information in the part 4 of the essay including its key concepts. B. Evaluate what are the major and primary arguments found in the essay by thoroughly examining historical evidences. C. Demonstrate critical thinking and understanding of Rizal's ideas in solving contemporary issues and challenges through classroom activities. And lastly, demonstrate an appreciation in the essay by highlighting Rizal's vision of justice, responsible leadership, and patriotism to the Philippines a century hence. So when we say a century hence, it literally means na it is 100 years from now on. And in this essay of Dr. Jose Rizal, we will be tackling what is the reason why this essay, especially in this part 4, is called a century hence. And now, let's start our discussion by defining or giving a preview about the words or the concepts that we can encounter reading or discussing our essay. So, here in our presentation, we can see words, concepts that are very important in this essay. And when we say assimilation, in this essay of Dr. Jose Rizal, it talks about the process of two different groups, which here ito yung Philippines and Spain, if they are being united, and kapag yung Spain will treated and bibigyan yung Philippines ng equal rights, law, education, and even in political identity. So that is assimilation. Next, we have colonialism. So when we say colonialism, it simply pertains to the system of Spain sa kung papaano nila ine-exercise yung control nila in terms of political, economic, and such sa Pilipinas. Next, we have colonial exploitation. Ito naman, it talks about the use of colonist people and even yung natural resources nila for the benefit of colonizing nation. Next, we have freedom. So, in Tagalog, kalayaan. So, here in the essay, it is the aspiration of the Filipino. And when we say aspiration, this is what we hope to achieve to be finally free and live without colonial oppression of the Spaniard. Next, we have reform. So this pertains about the political and social changes, including all the inequalities and oppressions that we Filipino were facing. So in short, when we are talking about reform, it is the process of improving the existing system. Next, we have moral law. So when we say moral law, here it is the ethical obligation. And when we say ethical, it talks about the rightness and fairness of something. So here we can say that the moral law is one of the obligation of government to rule with the essence of being right, fair, and also respect their people. So again, yun yung moral law. Next, we have nationalism. So this is where we Filipino ay nagkakaroon na ng identity and turns out to be loyalty in our nation na nag-lead sa atin to independence. Next, we have natural law. So when we say natural law, it talks about the principle naman of each one of us that should have, especially in terms of having liberty and self-determination kahit na we are being colonized and ino-oppress ng mga Spaniards. Next, we have patriotism. So when we say patriotism, this talks about how we love our country. So sabi nga nila, I love Philippines, and also patriotism can be expressed through the pursuit of justice, reform, and national welfare. Next, we have resistance. So, resistance yun yung pag-ayaw. And in this essay of Dr. Jose Rizal, it talks about the opposition of Filipinos, saan? Of course, to the oppression and inequalities na nararanasan natin na dulot ng mga Spaniards. And lastly, we have self-government. So, when we say self-government, it simply talks about our ability to manage our own politics and build our nation as well. So, ayan, those are the words or key concepts that we can encounter inside this essay. Yan, so now that we already know kung ano yung mga words and key concepts that we can find inside our essay, now let's move on sa mga tao, people na we can definitely say had contribution and involvement in our essay. So first we have, of course, Dr. Jose Rizal, wherein he is the author of The Philippines, A Century Hence, and he analyzes what will happen if in the future of the Philippines, if ganoon pa rin sila i-under ng Spain. Next, we have Filipino people. So here tayo as yung central subject of Dr. Jose Rizal in terms of writing this essay. And the only thing that he wants for us is, of course, to have our freedom and justice. And those also shape his prediction when it comes in independence. So next we have the Spanish colonial authorities. So obviously sila yung ruler where they implement Spain colonial policies. So and when we say colonial, what does it mean ulit? Yes, it simply pertains to the system of Spain sa kung papaano nila ine-execute yung control nila in terms of political, economic, and such sa Pilipinas, sa mga Filipino people. And lastly, we have Benjamin Harrison. So si Benjamin Harrison, here in the essay, if I am not mistaken, siya yung President of the United States wherein Dr. Jose Rizal mentioned na meron din siyang interest in overseas expansion or yung pagpapalawig. So, yes, that's all of it. Ito yung mga special na tao na na-mention inside the part 4 of the Philippines a century. And next, let's talk about the events. So first, we have the expulsion of the Carthaginians. So ito, driven out after their occupation ended. Dr. Jose Rizal also used this event also as one of the evidence para ipakita na kahit gaano pa ka-powerful yung mga nananakop, still, no empire can dominate another people. And yes, it is true kasi, look at us. Next, we have the expulsion of the Moors from Spain. So, after 7 centuries ng pagro-rule, they were finally driven out through bloody and intense battles. Next, we have the formation of Spain from 15th to 16th century, wherein the nation of Spain was born only after the Moors were expelled. And also pinuprove niya na yung foreign rule doesn't last forever. Next, yung expulsion of the French from Spain. So another example lang din siya of a long ruling foreign power na eventually naging pinush out din. Next, we have the crucifixion of Christ, wherein ginamit din siya ni Rizal as an example of a seemingly small event that changed the course of world history. And lastly, we have the Napoleon's defeat at Waterloo. So ito, ginamit din siya ni Dr. Jose Rizal as a second example of a single event wherein nire-reshape niya yung history, and also it supports Rizal point that a nation's fate can turn on events that don't seem significant at first. So in overall, those events that were included in the essay, aside from supporting the main message, of Dr. Jose Rizal's essay, he wants us to be reminded that we Filipino, that being oppressed by Spanish colonial rule will never be permanent. And this will also lead us for craving and introducing reforms that eventually will free us. Now, let's move on by discussing the historical context. So, here in PowerPoint, we can see that in the 19th century, the Philippines remained under Spanish colonial rule. So, where Filipinos were denied equal rights, political representation, and meaningful participation in government. So, yes, totoo yun. Kasi, kinocolonize pa tayo ng mga Spaniards, and it is sad sa part na as a Filipino na nakatira sa sariling bansa natin, we are experiencing pain like this. So another thing is that Filipinos also experience limited educational and economic opportunities. So isipin mo yon. So these injustices strengthened the desire for reforms and national unity. So, aside sa mga denied equal rights natin, we are also experiencing some economic conditions such as heavy taxation, forced labor, o yung pagtatrabaho kahit kulang yung sahod or hindi kaya walang sahod. And all of these injustices and oppression strengthen their desire for reform. And when we say reform, it talks about making change and national unity or pagkakaisa. So next, let's discuss about the biographical context. So in the first bullet, it says that the Philippines a century hence was written between 1889 and 1890. So yes, it is true. Another thing is that noong sinusulat ni Dr. Jose Rizal tong essay na to, he was living in Europe, and he also participates in the propaganda movement while he promotes peaceful reforms through his writing. So next, Rizal had already established himself as a leading Filipino reformist after the publication of Noli Me Tangere in the year 1887. So in this part naman, we can say that there is a big impact noong nagpunta siya sa ibang bansa, because doon siya na-expose to several ideas like democracy, equality, nationalism, and such. So next, we have the next bullet. So part 4 reflects Rizal development as a historian, political thinker, and reform advocate. So lastly, for the biographical context, we can say na this part of essay, which is the part 4, showed and reflected Rizal development of how he thinks and how he was willing to reform and advocate. Also, in his essay, he emphasized that it is very important for us Filipinos to have a freedom, to become a responsible citizen, and to have a good governance because these are essential for building an independent nation. So that's for our historical and biographical context. So now, before we start our discussion, let's start asking by can a nation remain under a foreign rule forever? Or will there always come a time when its people demand freedom? And basically, no, simply because just like what I said earlier, Dr. Jose Rizal saw the other experiences of other nations, and instead of answering this question with emotion, he used history, logic, and his careful analysis, and through this essay and explain niya na soon or later Philippines would one day become free. And moving on to the next slide. So here we can see how Dr. Rizal built his case. So in the part 4 of his essay, masasabi natin na yung essay na yon was carefully organized, and it was a series of argument, and here are the sequence that helps to build and create a logical flow. So, ayan. So, in the first bullet, he explained why there is no colonial rule na naglalast forever. Next, diniscuss niya what are the possible things or events that could happen after Philippines gain an independence. Next, the kind of nation na magiging after natin ma-achieve yung independence. And lastly, how it finally ends with appeal to Spain. Ayan na naman, meron na naman tayong no colonial rule lasts forever. So, which is true kasi at some point, hindi naman talaga nagtagal forever yung pananakop ng Spain sa atin, right? Kahit na 333 years pa yan. And here, this is where Rizal start to begin his argument and asking one important question. So, can one nation permanently dominate another? And instead of answering and instead of relying in opinion, he looks at the history where one of the two sides must surrender, wherein yung foreigner can be expelled, sa kung papaano ang nangyari sa Carthaginians, Moors, and French sa Spain, or o kaya naman, native people can also be lost, and also katulad sa nangyari naman sa New World, Australia, and New Zealand. So why? Bakit nangyari? So it is because of the difference or yung contrary ng natural and moral law. So again, when we say natural law, it talks about the principle of each one of us that should have, especially in terms of having liberty and self-determination. And moral law naman, it is the obligation of government to rule with the essence of being right, fair, and also to respect their people. So, ayun yung naging cause. It's all about natural and moral law. So, next slide. So, sabi nila, science shows a foreign element na can only end in three ways. So, ano yung three ways na yon? Ano yung three elements na yon? So, first, destruction. So, the foreign element is defeated and driven out, wherein it talks about sa pagkatalo, pagkasira, and if the foreign rulers remain separate and tuloy-tuloy pa rin yung pang-oppress nila and pagkukos nila ng injustices. So, yun yung cause niya, magiging distracted or it leads into destruction. Next, we have the assimilation. So, it talks about the process of two different groups, which here, ito yung they are being united and became as one. And next, or lastly, we have isolation or state wherein yung isang bansa or group of people are powerless, humina, or nag-decline sa colonizer kasi they believe na yung foreign power cannot stay completely separate from the people it rules while still maintaining control. And Dr. Jose Rizal applied this, of course, sa Pilipinas. Again, Dr. Jose Rizal applied this to, of course, Philippines. And sabi niya, independence become unavoidable unless we Filipino people are being assimilated. We have shared spirit. We have equal laws or real reform. And if there is social and political unity. Now, let's talk about some important points. So here it says that necessity is the most powerful divinity the world knows. So bakit? Why? Because Dr. Jose Rizal believed that necessity or yung mga pangangailangan natin, meron silang strongest force because if the cycle of oppression continues and kapag sobrang deprived na yung mga tao for their basic needs and rights, then nag-urge siya to fight for change as well yung reform na hinihingi nila. That's why considered yung necessity natin as the most powerful divinity. So another important point is that it is impossible to exterminate the Filipino people. which is obviously no. And also si Dr. Jose Rizal inargue niya na napaka-imposible because the Filipino people were too many, and also kung wala tayo bilang mga Pilipino, walang makukuhang kapalit yung Spain sa pag-colonize sa'tin. So, ano na naman mangyayari kapag yung Spain refuses to change? So, first, Spain denies Filipino education and freedom. Filipinos find another way to learn and grow. And lastly, love for Spain slowly turns into anger. So, all in all, kapag ang Spain talagang nagre-refuse siya para magbago, hindi pa rin niya ma-stop yung mga Filipino to when it comes in education and how they will progress, and instead they will find another way to gain knowledge, and this will be an eye opener for them sa mga Filipino people to become more aware sa pang-oppress and injustices na they are facing. Another, anger turns into conflict. So, where Rizal explains na those injustices and yung oppression, if nag-continue yon, then yung galit, sama ng loob ng mga Filipino people will eventually lead them having conflict, and ang worst case scenario is that some of innocent people can also suffer as well. So next slide. Why a foreign ruler makes it worse? Simply because Rizal explained that when a country is ruled by foreigners, yung pagkakamali or damage ng isa is damay sa kabuuan and reputation ng entire colonial government, and it also causes resentment and yung urge of the people to have their independence or freedom. Next, let's talk about the cycle repeats until someone wins. So in this part, Rizal also addresses or discusses what happens kapag yung government still choose to refuse to respect the rights. And eventually, magkikreate siya ng repeating cycle, and Rizal also described this as a growing schism of blood or yung deep separation na dahil sa violence and injustice na na-feel nila, malabo nang mangyari yung reconciliation or yung nadadaan sa maayos na pag-uusap. And instead of making Filipino surrender, mas nagiging strong, decidido, and united tayo to fight for our independence. Also, Rizal provided another reasons bakit may hirapan yung Spain. And these are, they have small army in the islands, vast distance from Europe, limited knowledge of the islands, and lastly, risk of losing other colonies in the war drags on. So ayun, Rizal also highlighted na Filipinos are peaceful but fierce when provoked, and suffering strengthens national identity, which is real because just like what I said or they said, tayong mga Pilipino matiisin tayo. We endured a lot, and this time dahil sobra na and we are being provoked, it urges us and lead us to have our own freedom that strengthens our national identity. So next slide. So sa tingin nyo, would another powerful nation immediately colonize the Philippines? Let's see. So in England, no, because Rizal said that this country was already focused on protecting its important colonies and trading centers. Next, we have Germany. So also a big no kasi fighting a distant war would weaken its military and put its own homeland at risk. So how about France? Also a big no because its main interests were in gaining power and influence within Europe. Next, we have Holland. So also a no since it was already busy managing and protecting its own colonies in Southeast Asia. And next slide, USA, unfortunately, yes, because they had interest in the Pacific. So, nakakasad, di ba? Because after how many years, nasakop nga tayo, and now, let's proceed to resolve vision of a free Philippines. So now, let's proceed kung ano yung vision ni Dr. Jose Rizal para sa atin. So sabi ni Rizal, kapag we Filipino people na-attain na natin yung independence na we are aiming, it is possibly that we can have first a new generation of Filipino where dito meron na tayong good and ideal leadership, which I think medyo hindi. Next, cooperation and unity. And lastly, the participation in public life. Next, we have economic progress. So, hindi na tayo magtatrabaho na walang bayad or kulang ang bayad. Because if we have independence, we have a freedom makapili kung ano yung magiging source of income and benefit natin. And lastly, the recovery of Filipino virtues or yung pagkabuhay ng spirit natin as a Filipino, such as being hospitable, cheerfulness, and some virtues to flourish once again. Next, sabi dito, freedom is not only political independence. So, it restores dignity, unity, and character. And for Dr. Jose Rizal, this is true. Because freedom transforms everything, including our nation and us people. And it could restore everything na also allows us to become the best version of ourselves. So, another thing, sabi niya, history turns on small events. And just like yung crucifixion of Jesus Christ and yung pagkatalo ni Napoleon, this showed na kahit sobrang liit or even minor events pa yan, it can impact and reshape our history. And sabi dito in the next slide, Rizal closes his essay with one last message. So, hindi siya para sa ating mga Filipino, but sa mga taga-Spain. And this is to listen, don't suppress, give rights willingly and sincerely, and lastly, remembering Filipino loyalty and sacrifice. And for the last part na talaga, he gave the final warning to Spain. And this is if the Spain remains deaf to Filipino demands, the day will come when Filipinos act on their own to win their freedom, which is true and nangyari. That's why we are here living and enjoying our freedom being a Filipino. And for the last part, since nga na he gave the final warning, sabi rin ni Dr. Jose Rizal that we need to remember na freedom was not simply about removing colonial rule. It was about giving Filipinos the opportunity to become the nation they were capable of being. That is the part 4 of Dr. Jose Rizal's essay, and it simply means that this essay is his prediction and analysis of the Philippines' future, why colonial rule could not last forever, because he believed that national progress depend on freedom, equal rights, and good governance. So, yun yung pinaka-meaning ng Philippines a century hence. To conclude this presentation, may we never forget that we can achieve reform in a diplomatic way and hindi lang puro pagdanak ng dugo and karahasan. Instead, we need to become responsible citizens who actively contribute to the nation's development. Also, sa pagsasabuhay ng essay ni Dr. Jose Rizal, we can really see that the future of us ay nakadepende sa pagkakaisa, pagmamahal natin in our country, which is the Philippines. So again, this is Maria Crescenti Manalak, and thank you for listening.